Right? Tingnan mo, lahat ng mga defensive candidates na talo. Willie Revillame, siya, yung mga lahat ng mga, Pacquiao, yun, it doesn't work. It backfires. So, in short, napaka-simplistic naman. Ang basa mo lang dito sa election na yan is like, hindi, tingnan mo si Bongo and Bam dahil puro positive. No, ang daming explanation. Pwede rin palpak yung campaign strategy. Pwede rin kulang yung pressure sa mga alyansa member. Baka mali talaga yung mga alyansa members to begin with. Baka they could have got someone better. You get what I'm saying? So, and then, and this is where another communication problem happened. Bugbog sarado ang admin dun sa issue ng worst budget ever na nirelease ng mga kaibigan natin sa kaliwa at saka sa liberal camps. Ano yung response ng admin dun sa issue ng yung PhilHealth, yung issue ng ayuda? Honestly, I didn't see very convincing responses. And then punta naman tayo dun sa issue ng ICC. After na ICC si Digong, and I say this with all sympathy, was General Torre and the two were they that convincing? I mean, not a fan of Aimee, and I think that hearing was Mickey Mouse hearing, but whatever it was, congrats to Aimee, by the way. You know, marami pala siyang tayo mag-hearing sa gitna ng elections. At least siya nag-forthwith agad. Para kay tatay. And then BBM himself, what was his press con speech the day after ICC? Again, you took the swing, you took out Digong, the patriarch of the dynasty, and then the next day, it doesn't work that way. Even if you have Claire Castro, who's super good in offensive and all, Claire Castro is not the president. Claire Castro is not even your IDILG secretary or PNP chief. There's just so much she can do. At the end of the day, it's the bully pulpit of the president. And then, this brings us to the other side of this equation. I already mentioned this the other day lang. So, hindi ito ngayon lang. Kung ang basa ng BBM team is this, okay, nabugbog na tayo eh. Ano na tayo? Peace na. Ano na lang? Konti na lang oras natin sa opisina. Ano na lang tayo? Huwag na tayo mag-aaway. Sige, okay na tayo. Let's just focus on positive thing. Two problems. And we're gonna go to the Risa issue soon. Two problems. Problem number one, guess what? The Dutertes have smelled blood. They have smelled weakness. You think they're gonna just allow BBM to have his peace and just do his thing? No. They're gonna go after him every single day. No matter what BBM says on the trial of Sara and says, wala akong pake, ayoko yan, ganun. They're gonna pin it on him. No matter what BBM says na gusto ko ng reconciliation, ganon, Digong is in ICC. That's irreversible last time I checked. Sara is no longer in the cabinet unless they want to rehire Sara as Secretary of Defense, and that would be really comical, like next level comical, but whatever. By the way, bukas na yata ang DNTV. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. The DDS are smelling blood, and they will maximize this. They'll maximize. If you go online right now, I'm not even DDS. All I see are all these algorithms, funny pictures na takot si BBM, and then Sara coming saying, let's have bloodbath, whatever, and then confident ng mga DDS. I'm telling you guys, guess what? Yun ang tinatignan ng mga taong bayan. Goes back again to the issue of perception management. Look at what Bato said. Ano sabi ni Bato? He should show real sincerity. Obviously, ibig sabihin niyan, wala nang ICC arrest for him. But who knows? Maybe they'll ask more from that. Sara is so confident. She said, let's go. Bring it on. Let's go. Be my guest. I'm telling you guys, i-juice ng mga Dutertes yan. But the second part, and this is even more important, I already mentioned this. In fact, I had a tweet the other day. Kung akala ni BBM or mga tao niya is, okay, ganito. I did na my part. Bahala na mga pink dyan. Bahala na kayo dyan. Okay? Bahala na si Risa. Bahala na kayo dyan. Kayo nang bahala sa trial. Basta kami, dito na kami sa 20 kilo, 20 peso kada kilo. Ano na kami? Well, first of all, I said that will be a problem because the DDS will destabilize you for the next 2 to 3 years to make sure BBM is a complete lame duck, right? As their vengeance and also to make sure they can come back. Or if not, come back earlier than 2028. All right? Hello. But second, the idea that let's just outsource this to the pinks, it doesn't work. You know why? Again, two subparts to this. Number one, they just don't have the numbers. They just don't have the numbers. You even assuming Bam and Kiko and Reese have exactly the same take on things, which I don't think is the case. I think they have very different ideas about how should the opposition move forward. They're just 3 votes. They cannot do the heavy lifting on their own. So it basically goes down to those in the middle. Yung mga trapos na sa gitna na pa-safe. Now, put yourself in the shoes of yung mga trapos na pa-safe. Some of them already released a statement and welcoming this reconciliation. Because why? Ayaw nila to sacrifice their own political capital for what they're increasingly seeing as a lame duck president. And then they're looking at Sara or the DDS camp and saying, mukhang babalik yata sila so wag na natin nanin. In short, first of all, logistically speaking, the pink just don't have numbers on their own to make this happen. So the whole outsourcing strategy, if that's part of the strategy, it's not gonna work. More importantly, kaya nga sabi ko signaling matters. Tito Soto, Cheese, I don't know, whoever, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, centuries, pa-safe, whatever, traditional politician, whoever is in the Senate. You want to make sure these guys are on the right side of things. Or at the very least, they will push for a trial that is legitimate, thorough, and comprehensive. Right? Legitimate, thorough, and comprehensive. Because I'll tell you what, I completely agree with Justice Carpio. Numerically, it's highly likely that Sara will not get convicted. Again, it's not for sure. It's not 100%, this is probabilistic. But if the trial happens to begin with, which some people are even blocking, and why not, diba? I mean, if BBM himself is throwing a wet blanket on a trial, why should, I don't know, Tito Soto or whatever risk their own political capital who may have their eyes on 2028? For BBM nga, ayun na, dumidistansya na, bakit pa ako magre-risk ng sarili ko? Thanks, by the way, sa alyansa natin. Do you get what I'm saying? It's signaling to the fence-sitters in the middle. Now, the fence-sitters are looking at this and saying, ayun pala, nag-give up na pala, bahala kayo dyan, ayoko rin. I'm gonna think about my own interest in 2028, right? No. So, for me, even if the numbers are clear na malabo ma-convict, in spite of the preponderance of evidence, but if the trial is conducted properly, remember, the rules of the trial, even the quantum or threshold for what will be defined as conviction, all of that will be based on negotiations among the senators. If the president keeps on throwing a wet towel over this, you may get a trial, but you may get a Mickey Mouse trial, which not only will not end up in any conviction, baka nga lumabas pa nga na biktima si Sara. So, kaya nga sabi ko, baka mas maganda hindi na lang magsalita si BBM and not say anything na lang about this trial. Keep at studious neutrality or distance. Kaysa, magtapon siya ng wet blanket all the time. Hindi, mag-friends na lang. Ayoko yun sa trial niya, hindi yan tama. Honestly, if you're not willing to go out and take the swing, just don't take the swing at all. Diba? Kung concerned ka kung magpa-punch ka, you're gonna be counter-punch, then don't just punch. Right? Just be on the defensive and be on the counter-offensive. And now this brings us to the last part of the discussion, which is opposition. Nasaan tayo sa opposition? So today, as you can see, guys, yan ang problema ko, guys, eh. You know, we don't have real political analysis in this country. All we have is, you know, this is the parable of 4 blind, I don't know, sages or whatever, each touching a side of an elephant thinking that's the whole universe, right? So this is a 360 elephant. There's one blind sage here, another blind. Each of them are talking, oh, the whole universe is the face of this elephant. Oh, the whole universe is the rear of this elephant. Oh, Real political analysis, you actually look around and see the whole elephant for what it is. And this is what I do in my analysis. I look at the whole elephant as what it is. Right? Well, wala akong choice, right? Because I have to write journal articles and books on this thing. So, it's one thing to make a vlog or a podcast or write a 600, 700 word article. But if you want to write a legit journal article, you're really forced to look at all the angles. Otherwise, yaya rin ka sa peer review. Right? Anyway, but putting aside that, yun nga, kaya ang daming pundit dyan, their ideas are untested. They didn't, like, if they put it into writing, it's gonna get rejected by any legit publication. But anyways, whatever. My point is, if you look at the full elephant, and if you look at the opposition, for instance, I'm glad that Risa has come out and made it clear, yes, maybe it's time for me to run as president. Of course, Risa, being humble, being self-effacing, she didn't say it openly like that, but at least she said, medyo bukas siya. And I'm sure Risa did not say that kung walang clamor. And last time I checked, Risa was the de facto leader of the opposition, right? So it makes perfect sense for her to make that argument. But we got a problem. Obviously, I'm not privy to internal conversations in the opposition. Obviously, even if I were, I won't share it. But this is what I see, and yun yung pinost ko kanina sa article ko sa Nikkei Asia kanina, right? Na great success for opposition, but also great dilemmas and challenges ahead. Mahirap, it's hard to, and talagang very unenviable yung position ng opposition. Because opposition finally has some chips to play. They have a seat at the table, pero sobrang limited yung chips nila. And when you have limited chips like that, and huge responsibility, right? Passionate responsibility, it's inevitably gonna cause some debates. So ito yung article natin kanina. I suggest you guys check it. Alright. So I had to write this thing while flying from Britain from London to Paris, etc. So imagine, I'm squeezing in everything like that. Mag-real talk tayo, guys. Ganito kasimple lang yan. Kung ikaw si Risa Hontiveros, ang basa mo ay ganito. A principled opposition, not like ideologically purist, pa-cute ganun, but a principled opposition is the way forward. And if you look at it, Risa has taken risks right and left throughout the years. He went against Digong. She went against Digong. When even after what happened to Trillanes and what happened to De Lima, she went after BBM. Even as she went also after Duterte, she's progressive, she's social democratic, grabe yung attack sa kanya from different sides. But if you're Risa, you'll say, well, last time I checked, we prevailed. We got, all of this, this fake Filipino Chinese, the potential Chinese spy people, exposed and in fairness to Risa, she's building this national prominence. I know people who are even MAGA, conservative level people who suddenly like her, right? When, by MAGA definition, she's a commie, right? But do you get what I'm saying? I've seen even hardcore Republican Filipino Americans loving Risa suddenly. I've seen many ordinary people na siguro dati, mga aktivista to suddenly behind her. Akbayan, her party, best performance ever. Number one, best performance ever. Chel Jokno is in that team also. So if you're Risa, your reading will be this. Mukhang, eto na. This is the right thing to do, and it looks like, well, last time I checked, I won in 2016 when Digong won, and I won in 2022 also, right? When no one else won from opposition at the national level. Ako lang nanalo. So if you're Risa, you can make a very strong argument that the way forward is palaban, conviction-based politics, but not purist, right? Not ideologically rigid, but ideologically grounded in human rights values, a progressive agenda for the Philippines, almost social democratic. That will be your read if you're Risa Hontiveros. But will that be the read if you're Bam Aquino? Or even to a certain degree, Kiko Pangilinan? I think if you're BAM, your read will be very different. Ang read mo is, look at it. We did fantastic, right? I got more than 20 million votes. And basically, what I did was don't take on any of the polarizing issues. Stay clear or steer clear of the hidwaan ng dalawa. Just focus on positive messaging, right? Smart, safe, boom, boom, boom. Biggest numbers. Bam Aquino goes down as the most successful Aquino even, right? In terms of number of votes. Obviously, hindi pa siya naging presidente, but he can make an argument for becoming a presidential candidate. And to be honest, please don't get mad at me, but Bam and Lenny look like a more natural tandem to me, right? I mean, for obvious reasons, right? He was the campaign manager of Lenny. They're personally very close together. And I think, to be honest, ang philosophy ni Lenny is quite similar to Bam. Now, it doesn't mean na magkalaban yung dalawa na yan. I'm just saying there are different variations on a theme. Parehong kampo ay for good governance, malinis na gobyerno, parehong matatalino, parehong Ateneo, right? Cum laude si Risa, I don't know, summa cum laude si Bam, so parehong matalino, no question about it. So, similar, merit, malinis, decente, maayos, lahat. No question about it. This is a question of strategy though, hindi ba? So sa aking palagay, not necessarily the same because the Risa version will be very different from what Bam may see as what works. Right? So what is the implication of, see, I'm showing you how everything is connecting to each other, right? It's you see, it's like a watch, right? Different parts have to work together, right? So the way I see it now, if BBM is gonna play safe, and then if Bam is gonna prevail in terms of his strategy, he has the momentum on his side, what we're gonna have is what social scientists call collective action problem. Basically, no one will take up the cudgels because everyone is gonna say, let's just go positive messaging. Wag na natin banggayin ng mga Dutertes. Let's just play it safe. Everything will be fine. Right? Ganun lang tayo. Wag natin pag-usapan mga yan. Guess who wins in that scenario? Dutertes. Maybe not Sara Duterte, but another one. Robin Hood Padilla, bukas siya maging presidente. Bongo, I won't be surprised, bukas siya maging presidente. Who knows? Maybe even Bato may be open to at this vice president if he survives the ICC ordeal and all of that. So, what I'm saying is that Dutertismo will more likely come back than not if on the other side, everyone's gonna try to play safe and say, okay na kami, tapos na, ginawa namin, trabaho namin, focus na kami sa positive message. In that scenario, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, monsieur, mademoiselle, Dutertes will come back. And, I don't know which comes first, pero pag bumalik ang mga Dutertes, it's anyone's guess sinong unahin nila. Sinong yayarin nilang more, right? Is it BBM and his people? Is it the Dilawan? Be my guess, right? So I think no one is like that's the train at the end of the tunnel that is coming towards you. And if everyone's gonna say, "Hindi, baka basta ako, ay dito na ako sa tunnel, ay singo tong side." Hindi, ako basta dito lang ako. That train is gonna come for you guys. I'm telling you. Actually, lahat, yayarin lahat, di ba? And then you imagine, yung mga katulad ni Torre, Trillanes, Castro, all of these people who are risking it everything for the, for the cause. Some of them directly for the administration, right? Some of them for tactical alliance purposes. Some of them for the never Duterte camp. What's gonna happen to them? Right? So, I hope that just gives you a flavor what I'm my thought process, because there's no notes, nothing. This is my thought. I look at everything from 10 different angles, and this is what I'm saying. This scenario. Anyways, on that note, baka ganyan talaga tayo sa Pilipinas, no? Let's all just play safe. Let's all just be nice, right? EJK, wag na natin pag-usapan. Masyadong polarizing. Wag na. Piatos, Mary Grace, wag na natin pag-usapan. Masyadong polarizing. Human rights. Wag na natin. Let's just be safe. Let's just be nice. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Hug tayo, hug tayo. Guys, wag na tayo mag-away. Let's just love, love, love tayo. DDS, ano bang gusto nyo? Sarah, gawin natin. Defense Secretary. Go! The best, amazing. Bato, please, I'm so sorry, Bato, ha? We gave you stress over it. Sige, hindi na kailangan ng hair follicle test. Relax ka na lang. You're gonna be an amazing senator, amazing time. Drug war, forget about it. That was nothing. That was nothing. Oh, yung mga tuta ng sa West Philippines. Okay na yan. Okay lang yan. Who cares? Patriotism, Let's all play safe. Let's all be nice. Let's all, You see, if that becomes the default option moving forward, good luck sa atin lahat. Good luck sa atin lahat. Yun lang masasabi ko. And you know what? Who's gonna hold the bill at the end of the day? Everyone. But my fear is, even more, yung mga matapang na lumaban for this. Whether it's Leila de Lima, whether it's Risa, whether it's Chel Jokno, whether it's General Torre, whether it's Trillanes, these people will ultimately be paying the price if others don't pick up the tabs. If others just play it safe. Because, well, gusto lang naman, positive messaging, safe lang tayo, nice lang tayo. Friends na tayo, love. Yamat na gito, yawa, nag-awit tayo. Honestly, ayoko na. Mag-retire na ako, magpalit na ako ng career, ayoko na. Bahala na kayo dyan. Ganun talaga, di ba? Kanya-kanyang diskarte na to. Sige, tara na. Hintayin na lang natin bumalik ang mga Duterte. Ayan na. Hindi nasasama si Ronald. Bahala siya sa buwan. Kanya-kanyang diskarte na to. Basta ako, mag-fashion, na tayo. Na lang tayo. Change career na tayo. Peace sa mga DDS, ha? Peace, ha? Huwag na tayo mag-away. Reconciliation na tayo. Friendships na tayo. Wag na, kalimutan natin lahat. Rule of law, confidential fund. Who cares, right? Let's just be nice. Let's just be amazing, wonderful, beautiful people, amazing people. Diba? Ganun lang tayo. Let's play safe, diba? I mean, it works, right? It works. Let's just all play safe. Who knows, maybe, 20, 30 something, and then, we'll play safe. Baka mamaya, baka tayo, baka ganon. Ganon na lang. Model na lang tayo. Yeah, man. Do you see where I'm coming from, guys? Oh, by the way, dun sa mga medyo I was being sarcastic, okay? I was being sarcastic. Kung just in case hindi niyo na-gets ng sarcasm, that was sarcastic. Okay? Mamaya iti-twist na naman ng mga walang hiyang taong yan. Alright? Unbelievable. No serious people. Good luck sa atin lahat. Honestly, good luck sa atin lahat. Good luck talaga sa atin lahat. The way we're acting is as if tens of thousands of our people didn't get killed in EJK. The way we're acting is as if never nangyaring Piatos and Farmali and everything like that. If we are just gonna pretend, just to play safe politically, good luck sa atin. We will never become a mature democracy. We're gonna be a joke, right? And we're gonna be a banana republic soon again, right? Ganun na lang. Because everyone's gonna play safe, right? Kaya nga tayo nandito, dahil yung mga leaders natin, kung ano man kulay, they didn't do their job. They're not serious people. We have had one of the most incompetent elite anywhere in human history. I'll tell you what. As someone who has studied, kanina lang on the way, I was reading, Lineages of the Absolutist State by Perry Anderson. I was looking at the case of a comparative study of Spain, England, different regimes, how did modern states come about. I studied comparative public policy. I do that. You know what? Every country I look at, Colombia, like Peru, I can talk about a million other countries. Their leaders were always more serious than us. Their leaders were They had not one Risa Hontiveros, they had 10 Risa Hontiveros. They didn't have one Akbayan, they had 1,000 Akbayans. And that always makes me think, what the heck is going on with us? If everyone is gonna play safe here, and then only the few courageous are gonna pick up the tabs, good luck talaga sa atin. Good luck talaga sa atin. I'm telling you guys, good luck talaga sa atin. And if and when, babalik ang mga Dutertes by 2028, hindi lang yayarin lahat ng mga kalaban nila. 100% for sure yan, ha? But, good luck also inspiring our next generation to stick around. Because, fill in the blanks, my friends. Fill in the blanks. Use your imagination. Oh, actually, you don't have to use imagination. Just look at our recent history. What did we have under 6 years of Duterte? Of course, we had amazing, the greatest president, the most amazing. Not serious people. Not serious people. Our leaders are not serious people. Everyone is trying to be safe and cute and, you know, it works eh. It works. It works, di ba? It works for you, of course. Does it work for the country? Does it work for the rule of law? Does it work for us being a serious country, a mature democracy? Obviously not. Obviously not. Obviously not. Ang puso. Sige, ano tayo? Mag-English tea tayo, mag-relaxation. O hindi ako magsasara Duterte na gano'n ha. Hindi ako mag-zoom gano'n yan. Okay, anyway, oy, tama na, wag na naman ako asarin. Ganun. Tama na, ako na, Tintin at Zoolander, sige lang. Hoy, pero in fairness ang ganda ng hair ni Bam, at saka ang ganda ng hairstyle niya, at saka ganda rin nung ano ni BBM. In fairness to them, I'll give it to them. Okay? So, on that note, this is what I love about humor. You know, humor, dark humor, is really our best medicine. Otherwise, remember how we started this show? Ayan na. Thank you so much, guys. Maraming salamat. God bless. And thank you so much for all your love and prayers and support through and through. I really, really appreciate that. We may not be able to change the world for better, at least not better to the degree that I want. But at least, if we can do in our own little way, whatever little thing we can do, para kahit papano, di ba, sabi, what is the test, di ba, the Gandhian test. If you made the world slightly better from the world you inherited, di ba, then maybe you have done something well. So, ganyan na lang. Ganyan na lang, guys. Ganyan na lang. Good night, guys. God bless.